Welcome back to Sunrise, everyone. It's Monday Learning Matters time. And today I have Dr. Irene Pintado with us. She is from the MUW. She's an Associate Professor of Health Education. And we're talking about sleeping for better health this new year. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
And you say everybody needs sleep. It's good for our bodies, right?
Yep. We all need sleep. Our bodies are actually programmed to sleep, and there are two systems in our bodies that do that. One is a circadian rhythm. So once sunlight comes on, our brain actually starts waking up, and it starts making a chemical. It makes throughout the day, and it keeps us awake till night when the chemical reaches to a certain level and we get drowsy again. And also, based on sunlight, we are going to be making melatonin towards the end of the day when the sunlight goes down. So there are two systems that really want us to go to sleep when the sun goes down.
And I know, say, when you're a baby, you're going to be sleeping all the time.
Yes.
How does it change as we get older?
It just seems to be the need for sleep is actually biological, physiological. Our brain's very active. In babies, the brains are making lots of new connections. Everything's brand new. Lots of learning is going on. And so we find that there's sleep that happens throughout our lives. It's required. It changes a little bit with time, with infants needing the most sleep, sleeping up to 18 hours a day. And I read a statistic somewhere that by the age of 2, they were asleep for 40% of their lives. Wow. So it really is important and not something that can be avoided. Teens also require a lot of sleep, although they tend not to get it, anywhere from 8.5 to 10 hours of sleep a day.
Now, what actually affects how much sleep we need?
Well, I think pretty much everybody is an individual. So age seems to matter. Each person, there are people who manage to do a little less sleep than others, but it's really our way for our brain to start recharging. So it's not wasted time. It's not something that you can avoid and drink a cup of coffee and hope to get rid of. It is actually something your body requires. You learn when you're asleep. Things that are in short-term memory would go into long-term memory. So it really is important and necessary. Now, most people need a certain amount of sleep. It's called basal sleep. Right. So that's kind of what you need. If you don't get it, you actually start building up something called sleep debt. And it builds up over time, and it's not linear. So if, let's say, for 5 days of the week, you're missing 2 hours of sleep a night, so that now you are down 10 hours, you can't just marathon sleep on a Saturday for 10 hours and hope to have recovered. It'll bring you up a little bit, but that sleep debt is cumulative, and it seems to be greater than just the sum of the hours.
Now, what are some of the short-term and actual long-term effects of that sleep debt? What can happen to you if you just keep going like that?
For short-term, there's a decrease in alertness. There's changes in mood. People will not respond to stressors in the same manner. So something that may have been a small annoyance will cause great anger. In children, it can cause them to have emotional outbursts that are inappropriate in school. So a teacher will say, Johnny, be quiet, and that causes tears.
Meltdowns.
So there's impaired judgment. It's harder to process complex information and make decisions on that complex information. And then your physical reaction times actually decrease, so you have increases in injury, motor vehicle accidents,
it's scary to drive when you're
or
driving.
if you work with heavy equipment, it can be dangerous as well. Now, there are long-term effects, and those could be things like obesity is related to lack of sleep. Research has found that when people have a lot of sleep, that they eat more. And also that's associated with increases in diabetes and heart disease.
Now, what are some tips you have for people to actually get a good night's sleep?
If people are not getting a good night's sleep, some of the things to do is to avoid bright lights during the evening hours. As I told you, when light comes on, that kind of turns your brain on, and so you start going through the biological process of waking up. So turning the lights down lower and avoiding direct light. Making your bed somewhere that you sleep. Don't bring in work to bed. Don't bring your computer on, which by the way has light, or tablets, or any of those things. Regular exercise is good, but don't do it right before bedtime. Give yourself about 5 hours. If you are sensitive to caffeine or any of the caffeine products, avoid those before going to bed. And the other thing is turn the clock away from you. If you can't go to sleep right away, get up, relax for a while, and then try to sleep again. And then if you can't sleep, go to a doctor.
And see someone get something going on with that. All right, thank you so much for being with us and such great tips. Hopefully everyone gets a great night's sleep tonight. We'll have more Sunrise coming up next. Stay with us.